and welcome back to the fourth episode of the Very Backbenchers.
Wow,
Fourth episode. So my name's Taylor, as always. I'm joined by Alex. And today we've got two interesting topics. We're recording this on Wednesday the 19th. And yeah, we've got two things to cover. Number one being Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood's Asylum reform proposal. And then also our little preview of the budget, with a big budget episode coming probably next week, right? So, I suppose we kick off then with the asylum reforms. Did you see much of this yesterday or not too much?
Not too much. I've seen the reactions from other parties. I've seen it's not particularly favourable within the Labour Party. It's created a lot of quarrels, if you'd like to.
Yeah, so you'll see why, right? So Shabana Mahmood has basically tried to cut the amount of small boat crossings. She's taken off the office from Yvette Cooper, maybe 5 months ago. Again, don't quote me on that. But here's the facts of the situation. So refugee status will now be temporary. You can't now, according to these proposals, should they all go through, come into a country and claim indefinite refugee status. Right. This will be reviewed every, I think it was 30 months. And if your country's safe, they'll send you back, right? That's number one. Number two is you need to be a resident in the United Kingdom for 20 years after claiming a refugee status to now claim indefinite leave to remain and become on that. He was 5, so that's added 15 years onto the ILR.
Yeah.
Changing, she's going to now change the interpretation of Article 8 of ECHR, which is in regards to, I believe it's in regards to torture. And how you can't send people back to countries that in which they may be under prosecution or torture, right? Yeah. Ending housing and financial support and visa bans for non-cooperative countries. So the three she's proposed right now are Angola, Namibia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Basically saying if these countries aren't responsible for, I don't know in what way, what they would be helping out the government essentially, then we'll ban legal visas for people trying to study and work from those countries. So just your initial take on some of those points. I mean...
I see the latter point there of the DRC, Namibia and Angola. You said, I understand that some countries pose threats to the UK. Their populations do as well. Obviously not everyone's the same, but sometimes it's better just to disregard a country as a whole for the whole process and bureaucracy of the whole thing. So that's definitely less load. The temporary thing Mahmood said about sending people back, so it's similar to the Danish system, which I get it, I understand it, it makes sense to be fair. So provide asylum while the war is going on. At the same time, I guess on the other side of it, it's sometimes tough for people, chopping and changing, coming here or there. They might be coming to the UK, they might still get a job and then start contributing and then end up staying here, or they might go back. So I think there'll be some clouds surrounding that and unclear, still unclear, sorry. So, I don't know. I think it's steps to appease the public as a whole.
Yes.
That's definitely what it is, being accommodated by Reform and Conservative to say that it's actually a good policy in their eyes.
Yeah. And we'll move on to how the parties have digested it. But, I mean, for me on the surface, I think it's a good idea. If, for example, someone comes here, I don't think they should expect to be able to stay here forever if their country becomes safe or there is some way to, send them to another safe country. I think the reforms are quite good. I don't think they go far enough. I think that still there'll be a lot of people that think they can sort of slip through being registered maybe when they come to Dover. Obviously the numbers are still going up at an exponential rate. But I suppose the question I want to ask you first then, and then what we should discuss about this, is do you think this will be possible providing that we are still not going to be leaving the ECHR, the European Court Convention on Human Rights, which Shabana Mahmood said would definitely not?
So I believe so, because what was it, Section 8 you were saying that we align with?
Yeah, Article 8,
You can't send them back to a country where they're being personally prosecuted.
Just to clarify this, I think there's Article 3 and Article 5. Sorry, 3 and 8. But I don't know which way around they come, but one of them is essentially the right to have a family, which is what a lot of people are leaning on and making appeals for. And one of them is basically saying you can't send someone back to a country in which they may be tortured.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm all for that. I think definitely more structure and clarity around those. Say a country's in war for 3 years and these people are being persecuted for 3 years. That 3 years in the UK needs to have some sort of structure and like what are those people going to do? We're just going to house them. Are they going to do nothing? Are they going to get a job? You know, it's a lot of cloudiness surrounding that. So I think that definitely needs to be developed. At the same time, could you explain again what was so indefinite leave to remains now increased?
So essentially, when you come here, I guess as a migrant claiming refuge, obviously, so if you are accepted into that, you can work here as your country is no longer safe. That's the asylum system, right? Yeah. Currently, you can stay here, and after 5 years, you can then apply for indefinite leave to remain, which means you're not a citizen, but you can stay here forever. That is being increased to 20 years. Yeah. So it was 5 that you basically just have to be part of the UK for. 20 now, 15.
And to receive
citizenship is currently 5 years on ILR, and then 7 is going to go up to 7 though under Labour. So basically, your path to citizenship to be a British citizen, 27 years, which is a long time. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people probably aren't going to make it 27 years. You know, if someone's older, if they're 50 odd coming over.
That's what I'm thinking. Is that part of it for Labour? Is it not only to discourage people, but discourage demographics of people coming? So perhaps potentially older people who aren't going to work. And contribute to the working population. Maybe it's to increase the number of working age male and females coming over. So I mean, look, the government's needed to take control over the boat crisis. Definitely needs controlled immigration, documented people. So I think sure, steps in the right direction, but there's still a lot of cloudiness, as I've said for about the 4th or 5th time. So surrounding it and the structure and how it will actually be implemented.
Yeah, something I want to bring up is I can't remember. There's obviously only about 4 or 5 of them. A Reform MP, they had a discussion in Parliament the other day. The Reform MP presented a case in which a Brazilian man who was a convicted sex offender was, I believe, released from prison after serving a sentence and was on the run for apparently reoffending. Fled to Britain. In which we couldn't deport him because he basically lent on, again, I'm not sure which article it was, 8 or 3, the one where basically you could be prosecuted and tortured should you go back. So that person stayed in the UK, and according to this, I haven't read into this, according to this Reform MP, reoffended against a child in Britain.
Right.
So that is, and what he says is an example of the ECHR having shackles on the British judicial system, basically saying that we're answering to European. I mean, like I say, I haven't read into that and stuff like that. I would imagine, you'd think it's not wildly inaccurate if it's been brought up in the Commons, but
no, but at the same time, like, depends who you are, but like, I can never trust a Reform MP.
Yeah. But what do you think? I mean, if that's true, that's crazy. So surely we can't get around that.
So were they saying that they can't be sent back because they're being persecuted by their own government?
Yeah, I think it must be something to do with the whole torture thing. Because I wonder if maybe torture's not illegal in Brazil. Again, I don't know.
Imagine it wasn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the definition of persecution or prosecution, does it have to be militant groups? Does it have to be coups?
Or we probably, I mean, I don't know that, but we probably should know that. To be fair. So
just Google it for yourselves. Pretty much.
If you want to find out. But have a little look at that video as well. I'd recommend. So Shabana Mahmood was basically defending her work in the Commons.
She as well, I'll touch on. So she's obviously, as you said, been in around 4 or 5 months or so. This is probably her first statement signing. For the year. Previously, we've seen Yvette Cooper do pretty much nothing throughout the whole thing, apart from just sort of receive a lot of abuse from the public. So, I mean, she looks proactive, engaged. As I said, it will be intriguing to see the developments within Labour and the discrepancies between individuals because, currently we've touched on it. The identity crisis at Labour has a lot of really left-leaning Labour Party members.
Right, yeah. No, exactly that. And that's what I want to get onto now is... So this was instantly welcomed by Reform and the Conservatives, who said, obviously they don't like Labour, but they think this is for the good of the country, steps in the right direction. And when this comes to vote in the Commons, they will vote for it. Then you think Green and the Lib Dems probably vote against it.
Yeah.
So what maybe the SNP as well,
few
how
independent.
many Labour MPs are going to oppose it? Do you think that this will get through? So obviously it's been announced now. I think the first round of voting will be early 2026. Is she going to get this through?
Don't think they can afford for it to not go through. Everything they've tried to put through as thus far, for the majority has been rejected, right?
Welfare, yeah, as we
Yeah.
always speak about, yeah.
So I think that screams that there's a lot more left-leaning Labour
Yes.
MPs than slightly centre
Yeah.
right. So I think they're going to have trouble again. They'll probably have to rely on Tory and Reform votes, but obviously Reform don't have many seats, Tory neither. So if I'm thinking mathematically now, like quick maths in my head, I'd probably say it probably won't go through because there's more Green at Lib Dem, there's 70 seats around.
Yeah. It is, yeah. And I think the
against
SNP will go. I think they might go a similar way in terms of not allowing it. But what is crazy to me is it seems not just on this. So, like I say, I read a few of the papers in which they said people the MPs are worried, the backbenchers, but they appreciate that she's brought it to their attention now to vote in the future. The whole thing with the welfare was they sprung it on them, voted. Basically, like, that's why they hated Rachel Reeves for it.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like the country is being held ransom by Labour backbenchers. There's a few hundred people or a couple hundred people that are essentially controlling the fate of the country. Do you know what I mean? I think that's absolutely mental. They try to put through welfare cuts, can't.
Yeah.
They're going to try to put this through. Let's hope it goes through. Obviously, it will be backed by those two parties. And I don't know how many people from Labour. It's a bit of a lottery at the moment. But isn't it crazy how they have such a majority and they can't put through what they want to put through?
Yeah, I really get your point, actually. And ironically, it maybe is. You know, these people who are voting against it, these Labour MPs, are they actually providing alternatives? I don't know.
Well, exactly.
That's the thing. So if they were to vote against it, I think that would require... I think this raises the uprising within Labour to potentially gather around a new individual, whether that's Wes Streeting or Andy Burnham or whoever, right? Yeah. So maybe it's them creating such a deeper division at the same time as maybe they formulate a new policy which they're going to put forward, because they can't simply just vote against it and then nothing.
Well, it depends though, because obviously the left and obviously the Green philosophy on immigration is we should have open borders and welcome people in.
Yeah. So maybe
and support them. So this is where we talk about the Labour Party's identity crisis. What are they on now? 407 odd MPs. Started with 411, didn't they? Maybe it's a bit less.
Yeah.
I've seen an incredible amount, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that they're still struggling to get things through.
Yeah.
What are the Labour Party now? Are they the party of the left? It seems to less and less appear to be. And can they get anything through? You know, I mean, I honestly can't tell you.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as though they will after you painted it to me. And as they're struggling with identity, I think it's the senior figures within the party, so the cabinet, obviously rallying around Starmer. Those people are also, I would say, centre-right leaning. It's just the majority, which obviously no one would have expected this much conflict between a singular party. But I think, does this expose and give pathway to a new Labour if this is again disapproved in the House of Commons? Does this allow maybe Starmer's exit to be imminent?
I'll tell you where I think it's going to go. I think they're going to try stuff like this, which is basically in an attempt to win back people that may have gone from Labour to Reform.
Right.
Which is largely on immigration, right? I think they're going to do a lot of these attempts. I don't think they're going to be successful with everything they try to put through. I think that will then make way for a left leader in Labour, which means potentially they could get more stuff approved, right? Yeah. Because it seems maybe these backbenchers will be on side. And then we see come the general election, it means that immigration will likely not be fixed. It means that spending likely won't be cut. And then it's basically let's have it at the next election. Do people want the sort of, I don't mean conservative in terms of the party, I mean the conservative way, cutting back spending, the right's view on immigration, or do they want the left's view on immigration? Because that's also a rising view.
And we could also see potentially not a rejection of the policy just because, you know, this is Reform's main policy, right? Immigration, they're all about stopping the boats.
Yeah.
Do Labour MPs fundamentally probably want to correct the issue to suppress reform, most likely. So they may pass this issue, sacrifice some of their internal core values for this bill to go through, and then build off of and hopefully, as you said, get more voters to come back to Labour from reform, and then try and suppress reform as much as possible before the next election.
And that's the decision they're going to have to make as a party, really.
Yeah,
Are they...
So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some slight adjustments to the thing to try and appeal to as many people within the Labour Party initially. And then I think they've just got to come together and unify against reform, because ultimately they are still one party. And reform is their biggest threat right now to losing government. So
what I do want to touch on there, we're talking about a few points of it. The last thing probably we'll talk about on the reforms, asylum reforms, not reform themselves, is the use. So in these changes, Shabana Mahmood said, and she didn't elaborate much in the Commons, was the use of urban hubs, which is safe third countries. Now, Alex, what does a safe third country idea for deportation sound like? Have we heard anything like that before, maybe?
Yeah, it's Rwanda.
Rwanda. So it sounds like Rwanda is back. And for those who weren't too clued in last time round, 2023, the Conservatives had a policy in which they would take people from the boats, ship them from the United Kingdom to Rwanda, which had been deemed a safe country, and they were happy to welcome people, right? I'm not sure, maybe they have a population crisis.
I think they did.
Oh, right, okay. So, but again, they found blockages. Unless people volunteered, they couldn't get it through because of ECHR. They spent £700 million and no one ever went because before they were stopped. Yeah. This was consistently voted against by Labour. Every time it came up, voted against, Tories were getting it through. But to me, Alex, it sounds like she's come to the same conclusion that a safe third country is the. I mean, it literally seems like Rwanda's back.
Yeah, they will paint it completely differently, won't they?
They will, of course.
They'll paint it like it's a new initiative. Been
different country, maybe.
That's it. They'll sail there instead of getting on a plane there. Little things like that. So I think this further cements my opinion that Labour have zero plan. Also, we'll get onto the budget, but same as with the intended income tax rises now reverted following growth figures. So I think it screams they don't actually know what they're doing. They don't have a plan.
But I think to give them a bit of fairness, and that's quite rare from me, obviously being a Conservative, but I think you look at the safe third country, the Rwanda regen, essentially.
Yeah.
It's tough, I guess, and I get it. It's tough to think that you're voting against this, that when you get in, there won't be another option. I imagine the Home Secretary and her staff have been like trying to rack their brains, trying to think of anything else that doesn't involve leaving the ECHR, and this is all they could come up with. So I think they're maybe realising the Tories might have been right on this one. Yeah. They'll never say that, Alex. Let's not get that. Let's get that straight.
And from the public view, let's not forget, if this is basically a repeat of the Rwanda deal, how much money have we lost in that process unnecessarily? The spending originally in Rwanda.
£700 million, yeah.
I think it just screams that parties need to be more unified laterally between each other.
Yes, exactly. Because I think this voting against it because it's Tories, voting against it because it's Labour, doesn't help. And I'm hoping that's what we see when this comes to, like I say, the Conservatives and Reform said they're going to vote for this. Mm-hmm. I imagine the Greens and Lib Dems will say, we're not voting for this. Yeah,
so it's probably going to come down to the Labour Party.
It will definitely come down to the Labour Party. Yeah. So that is going to be very interesting.
See.
Again, let us know below what you think of those comments, these proposed asylum reforms. Do you sit on the left side of Labour with the Greens, your party probably, and Lib Dems thinking this is not the right way to go? Or do you think with Shabana Mahmood, the Cabinet, the Tories and Reforms saying this is quite sensible, hopefully this can act as a disincentive?
Yeah.
Just to touch on that finally though, I know I said move on, apologies. Is this a disincentive? Are you seeing this, so 5 to 20 years, potentially a safe third country, visa bans on these countries, ending housing and financial support for people that have been granted asylum? Is that enough to stop someone going, I'm still going to go?
I think first of all we'll see a short-term increase in the number of people coming. Obviously try and get in
before it sweeps in.
Yeah, and at the same time I think people will continue to try because the UK over the past couple of years has probably not stuck to the majority of what it said it would do.
Also true.
So-
yeah. Smash the gangs.
Yeah. And if
Smash the gangs.
and if they're making the trip over here, I think they're going to try it anyway. And does that mean we'll send people back like instantly if they come across? Nah. I think their landscape will just look a bit different. I don't think we're just going to suddenly.
And
still
the amount of people that have come across. Can we?
Yeah.
We can't. Some of these boats, as Z Yusuf called it, the super dinghy. There's no way we can think, all right, what nationality are you? What nationality are you? And think, all right, let's get you back to this country. Are you from a country with a visa ban? Do you have family in the UK already? It is an absolute mess. So I'm with you. I don't actually think it's going to provide a disincentive, and I think it probably needs to go a touch further if that's the aim.
If that's the aim, that's the key bit. If that's the aim, if it's to remove people who are already here, I think maybe would be a better plan for that rather than as a deterrent.
Which part do you think? Maybe the financial support, the housing?
Yeah, I think so. And also as well, I don't think they'll just cut that. I don't think they will, because you'll have a bunch of displaced people, right?
Yeah.
That's not feasible to just happen like that.
Yeah. And while obviously we've still got the hotels and potentially moving into the barracks.
So maybe it could be just disincentivizes new people coming. Maybe that is it, and then let the people here still have access to housing and stuff, because you're going to get a bunch of people on the streets. It's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah. No, completely agree with you there, to be honest. So
yeah.
That's our little bit then on the asylum reforms proposed by the Home Sec yesterday. If we then move on to, obviously we're now 1 week exactly away from Rachel Reeves' highly anticipated budget. Yeah, highly anticipated. It's been pushed right to the very end of the window in which she can do it.
Yeah.
And again, let's just go over a little preview of the facts.
Yeah.
There is roughly a £30 billion black hole that needs to be filled.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this has been contributed by the proposed welfare cuts that actually added £5 billion onto the bill annually.
Yeah.
That were downvoted in July.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe also Labour's proposition to cut the two-child benefit cap is 3.5 billion, so that's 8.5.
Yeah.
And then again, she's lost her headroom in downgraded forecast from the. So let's talk about what's going to happen. There will be no direct increase, as far as you can tell, in the big three. So VAT, employees' national insurance, and income tax. Income tax is obviously heavily rumoured, and we'll get back to what's happened with that, but it's been now saying that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think the other two are going to be touched. It looks like there's going to be no welfare cuts. They've tried it before. They can't get it through. It looks like the majority of this is going to aim to be filled through fiscal dragging. So do you want to just do a quick little explainer just to the camera? What is fiscal dragging?
Yeah, sure.
Why is it maybe not such a hot topic as a 2p increase on income tax?
So we put emphasis on the no direct income tax increases. Fiscal dragging basically means, we've seen the previous Tory government do it. It is basically where tax band thresholds have been frozen at a certain level of income. So say it's around 50,000 at the minute, say it's 50,000 for the next 3 years, say they do it till 2028, it will be the same rate of tax at 50 grand. So implying that wages go up with wage inflation and prices go up, then more people essentially get dragged into the higher tax bracket and then end up paying that higher percentage of tax. So
it's been branded as stealth tax, basically saying you won't feel it until you feel it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But to go over that in terms of the impact that's going to have, is going to impact working people, right? If you're suddenly now in a new tax bracket, then, and what I want to talk about is after Lash's budget, she said she believes that fiscal dragging, the stealth tax, whatever you want to call it, is a tax on working people. I think this is a direct break of Labour's manifesto. I think this is an increase in income tax. It's just in a backdoor way, basically to try and make people think, oh, she didn't increase my income tax. She's frozen it for when I get there in the future. What do you think?
So in a backdoor way, would you say indirectly then?
Directly been broken, but I think it's trying to do it in a sneaky way in terms of, if the headline reads, your income tax will go up by 2p for the pound.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, she's increased my income tax. She said she wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But this is in the same way we see inflation. It was today set to 3.6%. It was 3.6%. So slightly come down from 3.8, I believe it was. You are still going to cross into those tax brackets and end up paying more tax. I think it's an increase, and I think it's still a break of the manifesto.
So what we know for certain is that is going to bring in tax revenue, not as much as she needs and not in the time frame she needs it, right? So this begs the question that there's probably going to be other tax rises, because she needs money now, right? She needs money now. She's got this black hole brewing. Whether or not there actually is a black hole is another complete question. But she needs money quickly and fast, right? And she's looking. Well, she was going to increase income tax. It was firmly rumoured via her speeches leading up to the event of the budget. I think can we touch on why we reckon she's retracted on that?
Yeah, so I think I think she would have been forced to resign.
Yeah.
I think it's so glaringly obviously a failure of, what was the line? We're not coming back for more. I'm not coming back for this once in a parliament budget. That's what we heard last year. She is coming back for more, but to do it in such an obvious way of just breaking what was probably a very early point on the manifesto meant she would have had to go. So
and the trust would have become obsolete at that point, already minimal.
Minimal, but I think it would have been absolutely shattered. So I think they're lucky that they've taken that back, but obviously it means it's got to come from somewhere.
Exactly.
And it's not coming from cuts. I mean, look, I'm of the opinion that the welfare bill is too big. We've spoken about that before. The Reform and Conservative Party want to decrease payments for people with anxiety or depression that can't work. They believe there's a large chunk of people that can work, that should work. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Labour can do it. I mean, we've been shown they can't do it.
Yeah.
I know I read that thing from, I think it might have been an anonymous backbencher, that it was sprung on them. I think even if they had 3 months to mull it over, I don't think they're getting any meaningful cut through.
No, they're not. And I don't understand why, as an economy and as a party, Labour straight away look for taking money away from working people rather than encouraging and enabling working people, investing in them. Because despite benefits giving those who don't work money, if that money was redirected into investment to improve their mental health, to give them opportunities, to create better environment for them to live in. Obviously, there's an argument. There are chemical changes in someone's brain, but at the same time, people are products of their environment.
Yeah.
And if we enable these individuals, put them on training schemes, give them education, give them passions to feel passionate about, make the UK once again a prosperous country to be involved in. So much cynical discourse in the country at the minute, and I feel as though we just need to support people better, and we can do that by redirecting welfare, because ultimately, and as leftists would probably argue, they're receiving this money and it's filtering straight back to those billionaires who have all the money. So according to their ideology, this is what that is doing.
So you're saying empower people rather than keep them at home. And I think obviously there's the double economic benefit of, if you reduce someone's welfare, they then pay tax. So you reduce your welfare bill, you increase your tax bill. If you can get a larger proportion of people, what is it, up to 5,000 people a day claiming out of work benefits?
Yeah.
Insane.
I don't know the stats, but I don't know, people claiming benefits that aren't working, what do they do day to day?
I don't know. And again,
there can be some way in which they can contribute, right? Whether that's in local community schemes, whether it's in charitable organisations, anywhere, people can contribute in some form, and everyone should want to do that, because at the end of the day, we're one nation.
Well, there you go. And I just think that basically saying we're signing you off, saying, all right, you can't work. That's actually just such a depressing thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's neglectful, really. It's just, right, here's your money, do what you want, and not giving them education and clarity and progression in their own lives. I think, of course, in a lot of left-leaning parties, money does sometimes tend to grow on trees, and sometimes other people in the economy face the brunt of that. So we might see that in other tax rises in this budget, particularly capital gains tax. I feel like she might reform. What would that actually look like? I don't know. I think it's currently.
What is the rumour? I mean, to increase it?
Yeah. I think, what's it now, 12.5%, 12%?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what rumoured increases are, but maybe I'd expect maybe 15. What would this mean? It would mean that investors are getting less returns on their investments, and what the UK is already is a non-prosperous place to invest in. The value of our currency is eroded. There's a lot of people who have taken money out of the UK and investing in other emerging economies where costs are just lower across the board.
Yeah, energy, whatever. Yeah, all sorts.
And we've even seen, obviously, in the last few years, Dublin and Ireland slashing corporation tax, basically stealing all our people.
Yeah.
People investing in the UK, which you'd get.
Yeah.
If you're in the same position, you'd.
This is what I want to say is, I think if she taxes businesses again, so they've obviously been dealt a big blow of employers' NI, lowering the threshold and raising the amount, right? And we've spoken on that. I mean, personally for us, that's led to a third less grad jobs this year than last year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure not just graduate jobs, but jobs across the board where people can maybe take on extra responsibility that might cut someone else's job. I think if she taxes businesses again, it is economic suicide. I think that businesses right now are feeling the squeeze. And I'm not talking about windfall taxes on massive companies. I'm talking about the bakery down the street or even the business that employs 50 people in the local village or whatever.
Right.
I think they are on their knees, and this is the reason that we're not growing as we should be.
Yeah, and we've spoken to some local business owners, and everyone's expressed the same opinion.
Yeah.
Is they're on their knees. They're fighting for their lives. You know,
Yeah.
they're doing their utmost to not make redundancies, but they have to offset the people that can keep their job and allow them to do that.
And we were at an event last week in which we spoke to a wealth management business owner, and he said some of the companies he works with, he's spoken to, literally as soon as it was announced last year, the increase in employers' NI, the first thing was to do was a full embargo on new hires. That's it. Freeze the new hires. I mean, we talk about getting people off welfare. Where are they going to get employed, Alex? Do you know what I mean? It's got to work both ways. We have to be creating jobs in order to get people jobs off of the welfare.
So I mean, and again, it's that redirection of funds into that, creating opportunities, giving people progression paths to move into. At the same time, I think who's going to face the brunt of that embargo on jobs? It's graduates. It's
the low skill. You know, it's the entry levels. It's not your
I think
partners and all sorts.
So I think what the UK has is there is an availability of jobs, just jobs people don't want to work, right? Like historical jobs that people have said immigrants have done. You know, when we had a massive HGV shortage post Brexit, and we didn't have any Europeans to drive. A lot of UK people are anti-immigration, but at the same time don't want to do jobs that immigrants work. I think there's a struggle here, and there is an availability of jobs in low-skilled work, but the UK, we've touched on increasing graduate numbers in varying degrees. All of this, having a degree means you are skilled, right, somewhat technically, and you're expecting jobs that require about to say skillage.
Requires skillage, yeah. But no, I think you're right. It's basically, you know, we've got a skills gap in terms of it, almost like not people are overqualified to be an HGV driver or whatever, but perceived, thinking, well, I've got a degree, I'm not going to go. Yeah. Whereas what we need is more people working these types of jobs, unless it seems like we have just so many graduates, right?
And if people don't want to do that, let's encourage enterprise. Let's encourage young people to have the resources where they can start their own thing. You know, America's very focused on that. It's the pinnacle of capitalism. Can we be like that if people aren't going to do those jobs?
And which is, I mean, we speak about energy costs of it's 4 times more expensive to run a business here through energy than it is in the US.
Yeah.
NI has increased.
Yeah.
We've got high corporation tax comparatively to a country such as Ireland.
Yeah.
It is looking like you need to work for someone, but hang on, everyone's got a degree, so they're overqualified. Or they may see it as a waste going to drive a HGV after they spent 3 years at uni, which I get. I mean, it's a sunk cost, but still, I get it.
Yeah.
It just seems, you know, we need to get people working again. So to increase taxes on businesses again, I think, honestly, Alex, I think it's one of the worst things she could do. But I don't think she's stupid enough to do it.
No.
She must understand that if she goes after, obviously, your big three are your VAT, NI, income tax, but then corporation tax makes up a smaller percentage, but still sizable, goes after that, then I think she's in trouble. I think she's in big trouble. We're in big trouble.
Can't get any worse than this, can it?
So the last thing I want to touch on then on our pre-budget is it appears that Labour are going to remove the 2-child benefit cap. So again, little explainer, but it's fairly self-explanatory. Currently, you receive benefits for 2 children. So if I have 1 child, 2 children, I'll receive benefits per head for that child. If I have a third, nothing, right? The Conservative argument is to keep it. To keep the cap. So they think that we should live within our means, and obviously, why have a third child if you can't afford a third child? Reform and the rest of the parties in terms of Lib Dem, Green, Your, and Labour, geez, big list,
There's a lot now.
all believe that we should remove it if we can. So it's a cost of 3.5 billion to remove that cap, roughly estimated. And I just want to get your thoughts on that. I'm going to probably give an opinion that's going to surprise you when we come back, but go on. Let's hear what you think.
Yeah, I think I don't want to go around in circles, but yeah, I'm all for people having more children, right? I understand the point that it needs to be within means, you know. If it's not sustainable to have another child, you wouldn't have a child, you know. Obviously, everyone wants to have children, but, you know, I can't speak from the perspective of a mother or father, right?
Of course. Neither of us can, so this is, you have to take this all with a pinch of salt. But.
So I don't know the importance of having a third or a fourth child. What I do know is to enable these children to have prosperous upbringings and mould them into skilled individuals who can contribute and do their own thing and live life and blah, blah, blah. Of course, give more money, but also give more money to their opportunity and their education and giving them a platform in life that's better. You know, as we said, we touched on this, all well and good, giving people money. But, you know, a leftist argument, as I said, would be this money just filters straight back to the billionaires and keep it. So I think there needs to be investment alongside it to enable that, which obviously is going to cost more money.
Yeah, of course, everything costs money.
And that probably won't happen, let's be honest, because the government can't afford to invest in that further than what they already are. So I think fundamentally, overall, look, I'm never going to stop people from having more children if they want it, but I think, is it within our means at the minute?
You don't
know if I can say.
So you think we should keep it?
I think, yeah, because, you know, environments people are growing up, you know, you'd say stereotypically those on benefits, you know, do they have the space for more children? Does this mean giving them new houses? There's so many more factors around it, you know, like could these if families are abusing this new legislation to have 8-9 children in a house that's completely unfeasible for that many people, could it actually be detrimental to the future of these kids? No one knows, but I don't know the ins and outs.
So you think you're in favour of the Conservative policy of reinstating if removed or currently keeping the 2-child benefit cap? Go on, you've got to go one way.
I haven't read enough about it.
You've got to go one way, Alex. Come on, you can't.
I'm for abolishing it. I think
You're for abolishing it.
Yeah. Because I think two's low. And a lot of people don't have 2 children in the UK.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you an opinion that I think will surprise you. Is I think we should get rid of it. This doesn't align with the Conservative Party, but the reason I think is that I'm all for living within our means. But my argument is the shrinking of the population.
Yeah.
So obviously, I think our population increases as we obviously import. I think it was it 900,000 people? A new estimate was a net migration year to I can't remember which month in March in 2024, not month in March.
I read that month.
But I think that, you know, all the records show to grow and maintain the population, each woman in the country needs to have 2.2 children on average. And if a population ever drops below 1.3 children on average per woman, it ceases. It always collapses on itself. That's the historical figures. I think the UK is currently at about 1.5, 1.6 children per woman. As much as I think we should live within our means, and definitely agree with that argument from the Conservatives, I think this is a tax we can afford or should be able to afford to forego. Maybe we get another 3.5 billion out of somewhere else in welfare, but I think we have to make sure that the population is ticking over. People having less children for many reasons, right? Maybe you have more atheism in the country, right? So, you know, the Christian value of having children and keep having a nuclear family, blah, blah, blah. But also the cost of living crisis. The average age of getting on the housing ladder is in your 30s now, right? People don't feel like they can afford a child if they can't even afford a house or living with their parents or something. I just think for those people that can do it, that just need that extra little bit of support, I think we should allow it because we need to grow it. I mean, we can't drop below that 1.3.
Exactly.
Every civilization that has ever done so just ceases to exist as a civilization.
But I think that was my point. I think it's the economic conditions at the minute. Look, everyone wants to have children. Majority of people want to have more children, have children. But it's unplausible due to their finances and their cost of living.
So do you think the cost of living crisis is so bad that even removing the cap, you think even removing the cap won't see like a massive boost? It's not like people are ready to go for a third child.
No,
You don't think so?
It's not going to be a massive boost just because you abolish the 2-child benefit cap. There's going to be a massive injection of fertility rates in the UK. I don't think that's going to happen.
Right. So you think the best way to get fertility rates to increase or birth rates is
I think that,
allowing people to own a house?
Greater prosperity. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You think that'd be more impactful? To be fair, I didn't think about it that way. That's made me think about that because I just thought we'd see this bump. But you're right.
And you're definitely not wrong. The population issue and birth rates in the UK is definitely an issue and needs to be addressed. But I think the wider impact that an improved economy will have is not only those in improved birth rates, but reductions in anxiety, depression. If we create a more prosperous society to live in, more unity, I think all these underlying structural issues.
Okay, so the way I'd go with then is, anecdotally, I've got 3 brothers, right? How many siblings do you have?
4 technically, 5 technically.
Oh, there you go, right? So I just think that the issue probably isn't people with 2 children can't have a third. I think the issue is we've got so many people having 0 children.
Yeah.
So removing this cap isn't going to affect their life because they're not going to instantly have 3, 4, 5 children. You're right. I think it's about getting them on the property ladder, getting them in a job that pays them well, that beats inflation, their increase in pay.
Yeah.
So actually, honestly, I think you've changed my mind here. I think that we probably should keep it.
Yeah.
And focus on, if that, instead of trying to find 3.5 billion, invest in 3.5 billion elsewhere in getting people on the property ladder, etc.
And let's not get it twisted. You could go in spirals about opportunity costs, right? In economics, you never know which is going to be the right solution. It's just minimizing the potential risk of the trade-off. But I think that's where we're at that point.
So, Alex, you are the Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Am I?
Alex Grieve.
Yeah,
Chancellor of the Exchequer. What is your flagship policy next week when you're doing the budget?
Wouldn't mind a bit of prep time, but let's go.
All right, I'll go first. You think it over. Right. You won't be surprised to hear. I think we can save in the tens of billions from cutting welfare in certain correct areas. I think in assisting those people that are on the people that have. I'm not sure what illness they might have, but cannot work, no way they can work.
Yeah.
Don't go after them, that's stupid. But for people that are on that edge of basically needing the boost, it's more about needing the boost rather than condemning them to a life on welfare.
Yeah.
I think we should save that money. And that would fill a majority of the black hole, as well as I quite like the Conservative idea of cutting a lot of funding for certain degrees.
Okay.
It's obviously a tough one because, I study economics, you study business management.
Yeah.
What is a useful degree? I mean, which ones are they going to cut? They obviously never cut your engineering's law. But me and you, I feel like we might be on the borderline. But I don't mind it. I think we just spoke about more people need to be in work rather than people having degrees. And I think that it might be a good point to help people get into apprenticeships or getting their skills up in whatever industry, the trades, HGV driving, for example, as well.
And I think the sandwich courses that have been introduced over the past decade or so are good as well, because you can do degrees, but you need to provide a pathway from the degree. A lot of people are left after completing a degree still unsure, which we need to reduce that ambiguity around it and create professional pathways for people to go into and something they align with and want to do. But I think I'd agree there's spending cuts. If I was the Chancellor, I'd agree on the spending cuts. I also think we should increase taxes, but we have to, I think, because the deficit is national debt is so big and great. We're currently paying interest of 100 billion a year, so I think the sooner we sort that out, the better. But I think it should be industry specific. There's specific industries that are benefiting from windfalls and geopolitical and just global situations, right? And there's also industries that are struggling, high streets, hospitality, leisure activities, stuff like this. So maybe designated tax cuts for industries such as hospitality, leisure, places like this, keep the high streets going and get people out of the house. But at the same time, there's industries benefiting from the collapse of the economy. And that's for Rich or Eve to decide, not myself.
So it would be specific, targeted, not a blanket corporation tax.
No
It'd
blanket.
be segmenting businesses into their industry and thinking, okay, how can we get money from you, save money there.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I mean, I think it might be quite tough to execute.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
obviously,
But
you've got
that's why it's their job.
capital flight. Yeah, exactly. It's not our job. We are the very backbenchers, not the backbenchers or the cabinet.
Yeah, of course.
Or the shadow cabinet, for that matter. We are just here to waffle on what's currently going on.
Pretty much.
But now we're going to move on to a new segment.
Hey, come on, prod.
Yeah, so this is 2 truths, 1 lie. Got that the right way around?
2 lies, 1 truth.
2 lies, 1 truth.
Policy edition.
Policy edition. So Proddy Speaks is going to read out some policies that have either, the true policies will be mentioned in Parliament, so proposed by a party, actually happened at one point in time, and 2 fake policies. It's mine and Alex's job to work together, or 5 each. Score it. Let's do 5 each.
Taylor, your first 3 are: the Conservative Party proposed that every new car must come with a complimentary bucket and sponge to encourage car washing and civic pride. Labour proposed making it a requirement for schools to produce a school musical each year with funding tied to performance. And Reform UK proposed raising the personal tax-free allowance to a higher threshold to benefit lower paid workers.
Nice serious one to start with. It's definitely Reform UK's policy, as we discussed on the pod, raising the tax-free allowance to £20,000 a year. So
I think I was like,
correct?
Yeah.
1-0, 1-0. Right, over to you then, Alex. Let's hear it.
I'm nervous.
The Labour Party proposed to replace the annual summer bank holiday with a garden gnome holiday, encouraging citizens to dress their garden gnomes.
Who proposed that?
Labour.
Right.
Of course it
The
was.
Conservative Party proposed a tax credit for people who send postcards to friends or family living abroad to support international relations.
All right.
Or the Reform UK proposed offering free broadband to every household in the UK to boost digital inclusion.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards the second one just from the way you looked at me. But wait, it can't be the first one. Let's disregard that.
Garden gnomes, tax credit for postcards, or free broadband for every household.
I mean, what would make most logical sense is the last one, but obviously I'm a maverick. Oh, we're gonna go the second one.
Second one,
The last one.
It was the last one? Yes, right. Okay, 1-0. Let's see it. Next one.
The Conservative Party proposed to introduce a weekend national service for all 18 to 25-year-olds. The Labour Party proposed that all buses in England be required to play an anthem every time they stop at a station to boost national pride. And the Conservative Party proposed to allow to bring your dog to work, subsidies for companies to promote pet friendliness in the workplace.
First one. Rishi Sunak spoke about national service. A weekend, did you say? So one weekend of the year.
That's the bit I think's that unclear. It might not be like a weekend like that.
I'm going to go with the first one. That makes the most sense. Anthems on the bus and dogs in work.
Dogs in work.
Nah, go on. Yeah, first one.
Okay.
What's the answer?
Yeah, sorry, you're right. The first one.
Right, okay. 2-0. You're going to start pulling it back now, Alex. Come on.
Pulling it back.
Let's hear it. Okay. For Alex, the Green Party proposed banning all targeted advertising on social media. Labour proposed giving every household a digital detox box to lock away devices after 9 p.m. And the Conservatives proposed establishing a national meme regulation office.
Do you want to get your words out on that last one again, please?
Yeah, sorry, body speech just a bit camera shy.
What was the last one? The Conservative
proposed establishing a national meme regulation office.
Is it the first one?
Yeah. So
what was that?
The Green Party proposed banning all targeted advertising on social media.
Interested.
End of consumerism,
Interesting.
mate.
No, well, there you go. All right, 2-1 after 2.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to start getting silly.
Okay. One of them's real, though. One of them's real.
One of them is real. So, this will have no names to the parties.
Yeah.
To make it a bit harder.
Nice.
Yeah.
A party proposed to introduce a Ministry of Biscuits to regulate dunking times.
Absolutely.
A party proposed to make the House of Lords a trampoline park to encourage lively debate. And a party proposed requiring dog owners to be issued a licence for hounds that don't bound.
Say the second one again.
Proposed making the House of Lords a trampoline park to encourage lively debate.
It might be that one too.
Let's go with the third one.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. So scores on the board. Taylor's on 3.
Yeah.
Alex on 1, but Alex has a point in the bag.
I don't want
if he gets this next one, which is tough.
Yeah.
A party proposed to turn the M25 into a one-way only London roller coaster experience. A party proposed to put Parliament on wheels so it can tour the nation like a rock band.
Are these like factual things, not like just taking the piss? Like,
They've been proposed in Parliament. Well, one of them. And a party proposed to move the entire UK coastline inland by 1 mile to reduce erosion.
the only rational one in my head is the last one.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, that's true.
No.
No.
Number 2.
We'll put the Parliament on wheels.
Put Parliament on wheels so it can tour the nation like a rock band.
So by who?
You're lying.
It doesn't say. It just
Doesn't say. Brilliant, that.
Unreal. Right. Okay. 3-1. I get this. I've won.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay, we'll go for pride then.
If you lose your one.
All right, hold on. Let me. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay. A party proposed to install giant umbrellas over Britain so it only rains at night. Take them down at night. A party proposed to make the English Channel shallow enough to paddle across. And a party proposed to put wind turbines on MPs' speeches to generate renewable energy.
MP speeches.
So when they talk.
That's got to be like.
I think it's that one because
I
I'll tell you why. I think someone said that and taken the mickey
Yeah.
in. They said, "Oh, he waffles so much about green energy."
How have you remembered that?
Is that true?
No.
What was it?
Install giant umbrellas.
Really?
These must be a wind up, but go on.
Yeah.
3-1. You got to get this now.
Come back.
Yeah.
How?
If you get the next 2 and he gets his last one wrong.
Oh, there's 2 more.
You got 2 more. I got 1 more.
So scores on the board is 3-1.
Yeah.
Alex has 2 in hand. A party proposed to nationalise all pubs and appoint a minister for pints.
That'd be unreal.
A party proposed to introduce free sun cream for all UK residents due to rare but dangerous sunshine.
Definitely need it.
And a party proposed to reduce the voting age to 16 but increase it to 18 for anyone who says back in my day.
Increase it to 8. What? Can you repeat the first one, please, Prodster?
A party proposed to nationalise all pubs and appoint a minister for pints.
It's got to be that one. Final answer. I'm going number 1.
Yeah!
What is it?
Me too.
Oh, I thought it would have been the sun cream. I thought it would have been sun cream.
No.
Let's hear it then. I've got to seal it now.
Seal the deal, mate.
This is tough.
This
This is tough.
is it?
This
Alright.
is tough. Might go another round.
Come on.
A party proposed to paint the entire country beige to avoid international attention. A party proposed to replace the current national anthem with Bohemian Rhapsody. And a party proposed to make it illegal for politicians to answer a question without actually answering it.
It's got to be that third one, mate.
It'll be 3.
It's not
Which was
that?
Make the national anthem.
Bohemian
Rhapsody.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that
It's
somewhere.
3-2. Alex to tie and send it to sudden death.
What are we getting gassed about, mate?
A party
Fucking hell.
proposed to introduce free bikes to all MPs so they arrive at work awake. A party proposed to require all new houses to be built slightly wonky so older buildings don't feel bad.
Well, their feelings are alright.
And a party proposed to build a new mandatory daylight saving bank holiday so the hour we lose each year can be properly enjoyed.
It's 50-50.
Let's see those first and third.
Yeah. Could you repeat the third one, please?
A party proposed to build a new mandatory daylight saving bank holiday so the hour we lose each year can be enjoyed properly. And the first was issue free bikes to all MPs so they arrive at work awake.
For credibility, I feel like I'm going to have to say the third one is true for credibility.
Yeah, it is. It goes to sudden death.
So for the final round, sudden death, what we're going to do is we're going to have 1 come from Proddy, and we'll both have a chance to think about it, maybe discuss it, and then it will be 3, 2, 1. I'll say 1, you'll say 2, whatever. And if we have a different ones, we'll see
Let's
if
go,
who
mate.
wins. Let's hear it.
Let's do it.
Okay. A party proposed to introduce compulsory karaoke in the Commons to liven up proceedings.
I'll be right up your street.
A party proposed to require all bridges to play music when crossed. And a party proposed to make it a legal requirement for every town to have at least 1 cat mayor.
1 cat.
Cat mayor.
Say the bridges again.
Cat mare.
Require all bridges to play music when crossed.
Okay.
When they're up.
So it's only 1 mare, 1 cap. So like only 1.
No. For every town to at least have 1 cat mayor.
1 cap.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
All right.
Chill out.
If you got your answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. Ready?
Is it
3, 2, 1.
1?
You both wrong.
What is
It's
it?
the Bridges one.
Right, you got another?
Another overtime round. Okay. A party proposed to breed a new type of commuter pigeon big enough to ride to work. A party proposed to introduce rounding all of politician salaries to the nearest penny to encourage mathematical precision. And a party proposed to make all buses solar powered by adding giant magnifying glasses to the roofs of the buses.
We got it?
Yeah.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
3.
You both wrong.
We have it. Is it 2?
It's 2.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a curveball and it was going to be 3. I thought you would have said 2 as well.
Okay.
So I'll just get a game
Yeah,
done.
this has got to be the one. All right.
Well, we should call it a draw if we...
Yeah.
We'll
This
call it a
is,
draw.
then it's a draw. If no one gets this. A party proposed to ban clouds from gathering over sporting events.
Should be back. I agree with that.
A party proposed to introduce a national database of silly walks in tribute to Monty Python. And a party proposed to add a 99p limit to all 99 flakes to restore national sanity.
I definitely know which one it is. I'm ready.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
2.
Yeah!
Alex, congratulations.
Pleasure playing against you, mate. It's been a
Well,
pleasure.
yeah, thank you, Proddy, for that. That's our new segment, our One Truth, Two Lies, policy edition.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and I mean, that's our episode today. So we spoke about the asylum reforms, budget preview, we'll have the budget reaction next week, and our little new segment there. So let us know what we think. We always want constructive feedback on how we can improve this. The setup, unfortunately, is going to stay for now. But yeah, honestly, thank you for watching. Please share it and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you very much. I've been Taylor.
Alejandro. Good night.
And yeah, thank you.